Thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now, today I'm going to be teaching you a secret to attaining wealth. Now, a lot of people very much overestimate education. Education is very important. But here's the thing. It depends on what you mean by education. When a lot of people talk about education, they talk about degrees and certificates, and degrees and certificates are overestimated. Look, if you want to get wealthy and you want to rely on your degrees, you're going to get very disappointed very quickly because your degrees cannot make you wealthy. Your certificates cannot make you wealthy. A certificate or a degree, it just certifies that you are knowledgeable in a particular area. If you want to become wealthy, you have to go beyond your certificate. You have to go beyond your degree. You have to get rid of that entitlement mentality that makes you think that you are entitled to wealth, to an employment, to success, to fulfillment, to happiness because of a degree. When Steve Jobs was 20 years old, he said he did not know what he wanted to do with his life. He had no clue what he wanted to do with his life. 20 years old, Steve Jobs.
I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life and no idea how college was going to help me figure it out. And here I was, spending all the money my parents had saved their entire life.
A lot of you, when you are 16, 17, you get into university, you get into college, and too often you are pushed to take a degree choice by your parents, by your guidance counselor in school, or by just society. At 20, Steve Jobs did not know what he wanted to do. And at 16 to 17, a lot of people don't know what they want to do. And so people push them into courses to read because they think, okay, well, this course is going to make you rich. This course, your father did it. You got to understand that that is not the way to wealth. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but it's not it's not the way to wealth. If you read Proverbs 18, verse 16 in scripture, it says that a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Now, I've read scripture in the original language. That part of scripture was written in Hebrew. The word gift in Hebrew is a word called matan, matan. It's going to flash up on the screen. Now, that word is also the word that can be used to describe skill. You see, it is your skill that you're going to be paid for, not your education, not your degree, your skill. That's what you're going to be paid for. So if you have maybe a degree, probably in political science, or maybe a degree in some liberal arts, and you begin to work in a bank, you're not going to be paid because of that degree. You're going to be paid according to the skill that helps that bank meet its functions and meet its responsibilities to its customers. So your skills are where your wealth lies from. Skills kill poverty more than degrees. Your skills will kill your poverty more than your certificates. So if you look at it now, Steve Jobs said he dropped out of Reed College because he had no clue what he wanted to do in life. He was just confused. And it was at Reed College. Reed College is in California. I live in California. It was one of the best schools in California. He dropped out of that school. And then he said he decided to focus on skills. And he took a class to learn the skill, and that skill is calligraphy. Now, it looks like an obscure skill. What is calligraphy going to do for you? Calligraphy is just the art of writing properly in cursive, in letters, write letters properly, the spacing of the letters, the quality of the letters. I mean, you might ask yourself, how am I going to make money from that? But then, when Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, when they founded Apple and they were building the Macintosh, it was that skill of calligraphy that helped put the Macintosh above all the other personal computers available at that day and made it the most successful. And everybody copied from it. Everybody, I don't want to start mentioning names so that people don't sue me, but it's a known fact. Other people, they copy from it. But he said it was just that skill of calligraphy that made him understand how to make the Macintosh better than other computers of that, the other personal computers. And look at that skill. And now Apple is the most successful company, the most valuable company on earth. And it all boils down to that little skill of calligraphy. So you see, learn a skill, get a skill. Yes, your parents have pushed you to go to school or you want to go to school. It's true. Go to school, get a degree, get a certificate, but then grow through school, but don't rely on that certificate or that degree to make you wealthy. Think back to when you were a child. What was that gift that you had? What was that desire that you had? What was that thing that you loved doing that you just gave you a passion and you had a passion for? When I was a child, I'm telling you, I love traveling. It doesn't sound like a skill. I just love traveling. I love traveling. I began traveling the world when I was 9. I began traveling my country when I was 4. I began traveling the world when I was 9. I think about that. And I'm almost 50 now. I began traveling. So I've been traveling the world for 40 years. It didn't seem like it was a skill that was going to make me money. It just felt like a skill or rather a gift or a passion that's going to consume money. But then you can imagine that for the last years, I think maybe about 5, 6, 7 years, I've been making money from traveling. I make money from writing about my travels, and I make money from doing travel videos on YouTube and then on other social media platforms. Look at that. Now that passion is now giving me money. It doesn't matter what it is. Look for that passion that you had when you were a child and connect it to a skill, something that you can do. For Steve Jobs, it was calligraphy. For you, it could be anything. It could be, even technical skills like cloud computing, coding, ethical hacking. It could be web design, or it could be other skills like, being a comedian, being a comic, or it could be singing skills. It could be communication skills. Whatever it is, learn a skill, sharpen that skill, hone it until you're so good in it and you're going to make money from it. Don't start thinking to yourself, oh, how am I going to make money? Don't worry. By the time you become so good in that skill, the opportunities are just going to open up themselves to you. The world is evolving. The world is evolving. So even if you have a job, you have a degree, you got a certificate and you have a job, don't worry. When you get back home, work on your skill, because your skills are going to be first and foremost, they'll bring money to you, but they're also going to be what will make you fulfilled in your life. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. What were the things that made you passionate when you were a child? Think about that for 24 hours. Don't just go into the comment section of this video. Just think about that when you were a child. Now, if you can remember those passionate things, those things that stirred your passion when you were a child, that made you happy, that made you just glad, that you could do on and on and on and on without getting tired and without being told to do. Now, think about a way where the needs of this world, whatever it is, the needs of this world will collide with those passions that you had when you were a child. Just think about a way. And then it is where the passion that you had when you were a child, when you were growing up, when you were a teenager, and then the needs of this world collide. That is your sweet spot. And that is where you're going to find your wealth. Now, if you watch the video, you got questions arising from it. That's okay, because I know a lot of this is unusual. Yes. Put your questions in the comment section of this video. My staff are going to bring them to me, and I'll do my best to respond to each and every category. But then you got to remember, I don't have a WhatsApp or a Telegram channel or a Gmail email address. Now, if you are a subscriber on my X, formerly known as Twitter platform, please stay on, because you're going to get a crypto pick at the end of this video. That crypto pick is going to be given to you on my Twitter profile. It's going to be added to this video. But if you are not a subscriber to my X, now formerly known as Twitter platform, formerly known as Twitter, you're not going to get that crypto pick. And I encourage you, become a paid subscriber at Reno Omokri on Twitter, now known as X. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.
Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is